Sri Chaitanya Ishwar, Paramananda Madhav Sri Chaitanya Ishwar, Hare Krishna. Everyone is doing well.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Pranam. Pranam.
Pranam, Shrapad. My humble obeisances to
Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Dashru.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Roji, my obeisances.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna. You know, I can see.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All blessings, Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
My obeisances, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat, my obeisances, Dandavat Pranam. So, I hope everyone is doing well, and a human life is meant for self-realization. Nobody will come with us, nothing will come with us is the rule, because that's how we came to this world. We came alone into this world, we lived from this world alone. You all agree?
Yes, Prabhuji, absolutely.
So that time, whomever you worked for, whatever you have worked for, it will not come. So, what is the prerogative of human life? When there is good consciousness, utilize in Krishna's service. When there is good health, utilize in Krishna's service. Because the way Hanuman utilized his energy for Ram and attained perfection, the way, what is that? All the Bhakti yogis utilize their energy and attain perfection. We should use every minute of our human life to get rid of the impurities. 1 minute. So, one has to, from childhood, we have a devotee in our community. He is a 13-year-old and he has been chanting 16 rounds for 4 years now. Can you believe? How many years he has? How old is he? 13.
13.
And he has been chanting 16 rounds for how many years?
4 years.
4 years. I'm impressed. I think he's continuing from his past life. He understood, of course, parents are both devotees. We have one more Prabhu. He was 15. He was initiated. We have one more girl. She was 12. She's already aspiring chanting 16 rounds for 1 year. Amazing. So they're all continuing from their past lives. Not that they are defaulting on their studies. They are like very wonderful students. In their sadhana also. But they understood the value and prerogative of human life and they have accepted, they have taken up Krishna consciousness, the Bhakti Marga, and seriously pursuing from age 9. That should be the goal of life. Last week, what has happened was mind-boggling, and I'm still, I don't know how many of you watched the video. How many of you watched the video? You all watched?
Yes, Prabhuji.
It was very intense, right?
Prabhuji. Yes.
Very
yes.
hard. Yes, yes.
And she went back to Godhead. That's how electronics engineer by profession, and of course, by education, but software engineer by profession. She went through so much of suffering, but at the end, she came out with flying colors. Whatever is needed, whatever Krishna tells in Gita, she did it. I'm honest with you. That's why I was so closely watching, and my Guru Maharaj was there praying for her. And Maharaj said she went back, she she went into the loving hands of Radha Gopichan, went back to Godhead. So then I remembered one of my god brothers' story, Stav Krishna, who loved the world 2004. Guru Maharaj said he, on the last day, he attained self-realization, he went back to Godhead. I have a few stories actually. If you work hard for Krishna, Anayasa Maranam Nina Dainyana Jivitam Aradhyata Govinda. So what is, if you, Krishna means God actually, the way Hanumanji worked throughout his life for Lord Ram ever since he met, we should work. So, what happens? Nina Anayasa Maranam, you will not struggle so much, you will be like bedridden for so many years, no. Life will go on easy, Anayasam, without great struggle, you leave the world. During the life, Nina Dainyana Jivita, it's all people are worried so much. Yeah, elephant eats every day 100 kgs. In Africa, you don't see any hunger deaths for elephants in Africa. Elephants are dying because there is not enough food. No, Krishna provides 100 kgs. If you have 100 kg rice bag, you will use it for 1 year actually. Krishna will take care. One reporter asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, how do you maintain yourself? Prabhupada said, we not only maintain ourselves, we feed 100 people every day. When Krishna feeds elephant who is not a devotee, why Krishna doesn't feed us who are his devotees? Krishna takes care of us. Hare Krishna. One should have that faith, One should have that faith. That is what is surrender. Raksha tishyatiti vishwaso. Goptrute vranam tada. Krishna is my protector, Krishna is my maintainer. Draupadi had this full faith on Krishna actually. So, anyway, what is that? Krishna does maintain, Krishna maintains everyone. So there is actually Vishnu, unless everyone eats, Vishnu doesn't eat. That was his vow. Unless somebody was a very cruel person in the last lives, he has removed food from somebody. Everyone is provided food in this world actually. Food, clothing and shelter. But if you, today, what are the needs? In my childhood, I used to study, we need food, clothing and shelter. Today we need internet password and we need internet password and what is that, battery charger and cell phone. We need cell phone battery charger and internet password wherever we go, right? And we ask our today's children, where do you get the rice? Walmart. How difficult it is to grow the rice, nobody knows. What are the different levels, what are the different stages involved in harvesting rice, nobody knows. I mean, nobody's or not nobody. The children, today's children don't know. We neither. Then what happens? There won't be any farmers in future, only engineers and doctors. Then the rice bank will be 100,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees, because there is no rice to eat. Everyone is listening or not?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhupada said we should grow our own food, should, manufacture our own cloth, and yeah, that's it. Then if you have self-sufficiency, then you don't need to worry. Today, what? Nuts and bolts, technology. What is the result? India is importing rice from other countries. India has to do that until they become technical, they become technically sound and there won't be any rice. So Prabhupada did not speak Bhagavad Gita. He just gave a lifestyle where just maintain 1 cow, 1 acre land, grow your own crop, grow your own food, and barter system, get your own cloth, and live peacefully. You don't need to travel across the world to do your job. People are very unhappy actually. Anyway, so let us go to last week. Can anyone remember what we spoke last week? The determination, right? Then very interestingly, Krishna 42 to 46, Krishna speaks of Vedas. First time Krishna is bringing Vedas into the, can you all see what, okay, let me see, I'm sorry. Do you see the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Krishna is bringing Vedas into the picture first time. In India, it's a fashion for little spiritualists here and there. We read Veda. He read Veda. Yeah? But Krishna is speaking the 4 verses. Men of small knowledge are very attached to the flowery words of Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation of heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desire of sense gratification, opulent life, they say there is nothing more than this. Actually, can somebody read 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47? These are the verses today. Who will read one, please? Lakshman Bro, can you please read? Or anyone can read.
Namaskar, Prabhuji.
Yes, can you see?
Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this.
All right, Krishna. So in other words, Vedas have 4 topics. Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Upasana Kanda, and Bhakti Kanda. Bhakti is very little, practically almost nil. Vedas always, what is that? They speak of 3 modes. You do this yajna, you'll go to heavenly planets. You do that yajna, you'll get a good husband or wife. You do this yajna, you'll get little money. In other words, they speak of 3 modes. Krishna is telling, please. And there is, in other words, what is the end of it? Can you please mute, please? Please mute. Okay. Vedas, Krishna is telling they have they speak of only fruitive. Fruitive means You want some result. Fal chahiye aapko thoda. It's like putting in the hundi and asking God, give me that, give me this in the temples. So Krishna is telling, Vedas speak of 3 modes only. Rigveda glorifies Indra like anything. But when in the same Indra comes to Bhagavatam, Indra is humbled. So Vedas speak of, they're very preliminary. They speak of only, better life, heavenly planets, enjoyment, bhoga. And Krishna is telling, if you're attached to this vrata, that yajna, this vrata, I'll get good. If I do this, I'll get good money. If I fast on every Monday, my husband will retain the job. If I get, if I do this, my children will settle. That is fine. Krishna is, to begin with, it's fine. But that's not the end goal. Why? Can somebody read the 44th verse?
In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place.
Yes. Bhogeshwara prasaktanam taya paratachetsam yavasayatmaka buddhi samadhona vidiyate. The verse before, last week we discussed, do you need determination? But people who want to enjoy a lot, sukha sampatti ghare kashtamati tanaka. Oh my God, give me that, give me this, give me that, give me this, give me this. Okay. One time, one doctor, a real story. He became a doctor during the college days. He spoke, what is the topic in a debate competition? What is the topic of the debate competition? Does God exist? This student, this doctor, he spoke so well. He proved that God doesn't exist. And he got the prize. He took the prize. Eventually became a doctor. And all his friends also became doctors. But one day, this friend invited all his friends in Bangalore, for his opening of the clinic. He was opening his clinic and he invited all his friends, come and, grace the occasion. All the friends went to see, went for this inauguration. And lo and behold, you can't believe what was happening there. So many priests, they were doing fire yajnas and, fire sacrifice, they were doing, they were reciting mantras. The hospital was filled with smoke. So one of the friends went to this doctor and said, hey, you spoke against the existence of God and you got the prize also. What is this? Then that person said, "Arey yaar, lakhon kharcha karke hospital banaya. We spent lakhs, those days, 30 years ago, lakhs and lakhs of rupees to build an hospital. If at all God is there, let him be happy. Taking this yajna, let him not meddle with my business of money making and enjoyment. So if at all he is there, let him be happy. Buy a little puja, little yajna, buy a little money. You're all understanding? Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So he's telling he still doesn't have faith, but he has faith and money, and he doesn't want God, he doesn't want so-called God to intervene in his money making and stop him from making money. For that reason, this is like a shanti, oh God, be happy, it's like a bribe. And please don't meddle with my money making business, money making machine, this hospital. Don't intervene. That is not spirituality. That is not bhakti. So Krishna says that is fine to begin with. At least, if I give charity next lifetime, I'll have a better life. You are thinking next lifetime means you are not the body but soul. But why many people cannot come to Bhakti? Actually, this call so many people used to join. Maybe they became busy, of course. But usually people cannot continue on Bhakti because of, only one reason. Those who are attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, they cannot practice Bhakti with strong determination. Another place in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Esham tvantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajanti mam dradavrata. That person who doesn't want to sin and he or she has performed so many past activities for so many lifetimes, that person is eligible and qualified to be, he will eventually become free from the more duality of this world. And he will worship me with full faith. Yes, I'll chant 16 rounds. This Mataji, she was initiated in 2015. I'm sure that day she did not know. In 7 years to come, she will leave the world. But then she received Brahmin initiation also. She started developing health issues. If you can't believe, today is the 8th day, she's history. But only wonderful thing is, she went back to Godhead. Krishna Loka. Krishna says, if you chant my name, if you hear my name, Antikalecha Mam Eva Smaran Muktva Kalevaram. This program has a goal. Sirs and ma'ams, what is the goal of this program? Does anyone know this? Does anyone know the goal of this Bhagavad Gita program? Who knows the goal of this conference call? Bhagavad Gita, every week you're joining.
Maybe to go back to Godhead, Prabhuji.
That's it. Nothing else. We want all of you to get rid of your impurities, and attain self-realization and go back to Godhead. Never come back again and get stuck in the cycle of birth and death. Birth, old age, disease, and death. Even if you have $1 billion in the bank, body is a machine. It starts giving so much trouble. And suffering is inevitable in this world. So what is the goal of this program?
Back to Godhead.
That's it. But you need to do the homework. You need to do the work given by, homework given. If you do the homework given, then you'll make progress. Those people who cannot do the homework, then what happens? When the exams come, they default. When exams come, what happens? They become scared. They're not ready. So can anyone tell what is the homework? And what is it the sadhaka is expected to do? Sadhaka of this call.
Follow 4 regulative principles and chant Hare Krishna mantra 16 rounds.
Amazing. And
Always have Krishna at the center of everything that we do, Prabhuji.
that is little intangible, What do you mean having Krishna in the center? So simple, tangible. Mataji is telling. Look for a guru. Bhakti yogi should have a spiritual master. But to have a spiritual master, we need to chant 16 rounds and follow 4 regulative principles and get initiated. And under the guidance of a guru, spiritual master, perform bhakti. You can, if you're a doctor, you continue being, continue to be, continue your services as a doctor. If you're an engineer, you do that. If you're a professor, you act, you continue working as a professor. But if you want to go back to Godhead, eventually, so 4 rounds, 8 rounds, 16 rounds, chant, then follow. To protect dharma, we follow 4 regulative principles. Then, Rupa Goswami mentions, Ado Ado Guru Padasrayam. We need to take shelter of a spiritual master and get initiated. Then continue performing bhakti under his guidance. This is important. So, otherwise what happens? Because Guru tells Prabhu, whatever you are enjoying, Mataji, whatever you are enjoying, it is like a 5 minutes enjoyment, like 5 years of suffering. You like sweets, one sweet, it takes 1.5 minute happiness. And if diabetes comes, then so much suffering. So, okay, who will read 45?
The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxiety for gain and safety, and be established in the self.
Exactly. So, Krishna is telling, Krishna is outright. Krishna is telling his opinion on Vedas. Vedas speak of only three modes, Arjuna. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna. Nirdvanvo Nitya Sattvatva Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. Vedas, they speak of Rajotama Guna Sataguna. If you get stuck there, it's not good. Please transcend and come to self-realization. So come to the path of self-realization, then you will do well. Anyway, Christians did the survey. I am sure many of you have not seen Vedas also. So, but even then, Rigveda speaks of all the rituals. Samveda speaks of music. Actually, Vit means to know, Veda means knowledge. Anyway, this has come. I want to show you a screen of Vedic knowledge. Vedic knowledge is very vast. I'll show that. Just give me 1 minute. 1 minute. So Vedic knowledge, we have Srutis and Smritis. I'm trying to open a presentation. I just want to show you why I'm telling this is Vedic knowledge is vast. So Vedas may be speaking about three modes, but so Vedas, how many Vedas are there? Let us see. Who will answer?
4 Vedas.
What are those?
Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sam Veda, Atharva Veda.
Amazing. So Vedas end, what will start? Vedanta. Vedanta. Once Vedas end, what will start?
Upanishads.
Amazing. Upanishads will start. How many Upanishads are there?
108, Prabhuji.
108. Nice. So 108 Upanishads are there. So, but do we have time to read all the Upanishads? For us, we have to make career, make money, and go to America and make so much money and give it to all children, give it to children and leave the world. relatives will consider that as success. No. So Vedas, Vedas and Upanishads start. So there are so many Upanishads, 108. But Vedas, the essence of Vedas is Upanishads is Bhagavad Gita, Gita Upanishad. Last time I told in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita classes, Sarva Upanishado Gavo Dugda Gopala Nandana Pardhavotsaha Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gitamratam Mahat. If all the Upanishads are like Gita, all the Upanishads are like cow, who is milking the cow? Krishna is milking the cow. Cow will not give milk without the calf. Who is the calf? Pardho Vatsaha. Arjuna is the calf. So Krishna is using Arjuna as a calf, and what is doing? Is milking the essence, the Upanishads. What is the milk that is coming out? Dugdam Gitamrutam Mahat. What is coming? Bhagavad Gita. In other words, Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Vedas. Yes, this is what I want to show you. The Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Vedas and Upanishads. Can everyone see the screen, please?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, Vedic knowledge, Vit means to know, Veda means knowledge. So, Vedas is divided, the Vedic knowledge, somebody said Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samveda, Atharvana Veda, that's good. But Vedas are split up into two parts, Smriti, Sruti and Smriti. One day, one Muslim doctor asked me, he's a Muslim by birth, who wrote Vedas? Who wrote Bhagavad Gita? Who wrote Vedas? First, he actually asked, who wrote Vedas? Because Bible was written by 12 apostles. I said, sir, nobody wrote these things. Brahadaranyaka Upanishad says Vedas are the breathing of the Supreme Lord. Bhagavatam says, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavya Muhyanti Yat Surya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Krishna, he played on the flute. Because breathing means you put your breath into the flute. That Brahma got the knowledge. What is that knowledge? Vedic knowledge. So Brahma, when Brahma heard the flute vibration, he understood what he should do. So that is how Vedas were, Vedic knowledge was given to Brahma. Transfer. Nobody spoke, nobody know. Brahma got the knowledge directly from God. And Brahma gave that knowledge to whom? Narada, his son. Narada gave the knowledge to whom? Vyasa. Vyasadeva scripted for the first time. Vyasa gave the knowledge to whom? 13th century Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya, so we come in the lineage of Madhva. So that's how we are. Prabhupada said, Prabhupada is a very bona fide guru in the lineage of Krishna himself. Anyway, Shruti means the Shruti is split up into, can you see Vedas, Upavedas, Vedangas? Again, Vedas are, the 4 Vedas, Rigveda, Samveda, Atharva, there's also split up into Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and Upanishads. Upaveda means Dhanurveda, Ayurveda, etc. Vedangas are Kalpa, Siksha, Vyakaran, Nirukta, Chandas, Jyotish. Smriti means these sages, they were in the Smriti means sages living in the caves, doing tapasya for so long time. They had revelations. That revelation, what they did, they, whatever the knowledge that was revealed to them, they presented as Shruti. So can somebody read the the names, ritual,
Ritual sutras connected to Kalpa Vedanga.
What is that?
Ritual sutras, Prabhuji, connected to Kalpa Vedanga.
I didn't write. So ritual sutras, tantras, pancharatras, puranas, itihasas, shad darsanas. So you're asking a question? I didn't get it.
And no, Prabhuji, you asked it to read it, right? So
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. But okay. So, but the sutras, they're actually Shruta sutras, Grihya sutras, Dharma sutras, Dharma sastras. But again, tantras are also tamasic, rajasic, and sattvic. So sometimes people, they practice black magic. It's there, tamasic. Tantras are there. Pancharatras means Narada Pancharatra Vaishnava worship. How to worship God is given here. And Puranas, 10 major Puranas, 18 major and 18 minor Puranas. And similarly, the Shad Darsanas are Vedanta, Mimamsa, Nyaya, Vaiseshika, Yoga, Sankhya. How many of you are honestly first time knowing this? First time seeing this. Let us be frank.
Myself, Prabhuji.
First time, right?
Yes, this is the first time.
If you really ask me, it is first time for more or less everyone. Because we know certain things, but we don't know the classification. This is Vedic knowledge. Can you see here Vedanta? How many of you are seeing Vedanta here?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Lakshmanandro, can you see Vedanta here? It's not there.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
It is entire Vedic knowledge. Vyasa deals with Vedanta. But when it comes to Mimamsa, Jaimini. When it comes to Nyaya, it's Gautama. When it comes to Vaisheshika, it's Kanada. When it comes to Yoga, it's Patanjali. When it comes to Sankhya, it's actually Kapila. So they're all what is that? Different yogis. I mean acharyas. They led the, what is it? Different departments. But this is Vedic knowledge. When Christians came and did survey in India, they came to know 97% of Indians, they don't know anything about the Indian scriptures. They may know a little bit Ramayana, little bit Mahabharata, and little bit Bhagavatam is not that much. But people know names, but they don't know anything. They were very happy, because if you don't know the greatness of the Vedic culture, it's very easy to penetrate. So somebody asks somebody who wrote Ramayana, people say Ramanand Sagar. Is Krishna means NTR. For Tamilians, it is MGR. For Kannada, it is actually, what is his name? Kannada Rajkumar. So yes, after India got independence, we have no idea what was the, we have no idea about the depth of the Vedic culture. In fact, all these books were present in the temples, big temples, and India was getting freely the wheat from America and Europe, because India was very poor when India got independence. So what they did, they asked for the script, what do you want? We are giving free, we are donating freely. So then the Indian government asked, what do you want? We want all this, all the literature that you have. So they started taking all the scriptures. Majority of our scriptures are in Germany and America, where they are doing research and studying. Atharvan Veda deals with military science, Samveda music, So because, the rulers did not find it useful. They found technology useful actually. Anyway, but Krishna is not talking about Vedic knowledge. Krishna is talking about Vedas, this one. Any question on this? Can you go forward? Anyone has?
Guruji, I have a question.
Guruji.
Guruji,
Yes.
Kalyan said, Guruji, this 10 commandments I have heard, are they derived from these Vedas, madam? Vedas, Prabhuji?
10 commandments, actually, they're the foundational pillars of Christianity given by Jesus Christ.
Okay.
One thing is, one saying is that Jesus Christ came to India and they actually there's strong belief in America that Jesus Christ came to, it is not propagated by Indians. Somehow that notion is there in America actually. Some Christians agree, some don't. Majority don't, but some Christians agree because somebody said there is a Jesus Christ Samadhi in Kashmir, so which has given a lot of evidence because world has become global. So some people, some people in America feel Jesus Christ came to India because Bible, you see Jesus Christ up to 7-8 years and there is no Jesus Christ after that. Suddenly he'll come at the end only. That at the age of 30 started preaching. So where was he before, in between? So there was, Bible doesn't acknowledge, doesn't speak about the presence of Jesus Christ during those years. What happened? So people say Jesus Christ when came to India, studied, studied and learned these yoga principles, and he went back and started preaching, started preaching to the the people, the tribals there. But later when he was crucified, Jesus Christ, of course, they have Good Friday and Easter. He rose from dead and, he lived in India and at the end, he left the world. That's why the Samadhi is there. But anyway, the 10 commandments were given by Jesus Christ. Prabhupada was, again and again asked, Prabhupada asked this question again and again. Why you be a good Christian? The 7th commandment is thou shalt not kill. Why you people construct, build slaughterhouses and kill so many animals? No answer for that actually, So the 10 commandments, the basic, very basic, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, one should not, commit adultery, means they were so primitive, the people who are there. So Jesus Christ had to make 10 rules that you should not steal in somebody's home, you should not kill somebody, and you should not, have illicit relationship. Means they were there, they were all tribals. But because he was telling these for small things, everyone felt he's changing he's bringing revolution. They crucified him. So that's why Jesus Christ says in book of John, I know so many things, but you people are not ready to hear. So I know so many things, he says. But Bhagavad Gita, as we are in 2nd chapter, the 7th chapter, Krishna says, there is nothing higher than Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I'm giving you, what is that? King of knowledge. Once you know this, you don't need to know anything. In other words, because Bhagavad Gita is the essence of Vedas and Upanishads. Okay. Does it answer your question?
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thanks. Any other question? Okay, so should we continue? So I just want to show this. This is the vastness. This much vast is our Vedic knowledge. You know, how many of you are really, really enamored, amazed? Oh, great. You know? We know
Yes,
just.
Prabhuji.
It's awesome.
So, I mean, I always tell if you, in our, like, you know, I'm in our place, as various farming tunnels, if you spread the books on the ground, I know it will occupy the entire village. That many books are there, you know, because people have no idea what it is all about. You know, first of all, even Vedas were not written. They were spoken by Supreme Lord. You know, Krishna spoke them. But Bible was written by 12 apostles, actually, mostly by John, of course. You know, so so because we don't know our value today, somehow people are losing faith. So that's why, you know, my request to all of you. So Lord Chaitanya says, Janma sarda puri karo paropakar. First of all, you prepare yourself, you cleanse your heart, you become very pure. But you give this knowledge to others. And you make them pure, different, and help others go back to God. That is the goal of life. Bharata Bhumi se Manushya Janma hoile jar Janma sarda kuri karo paropakar. You have taken birth in the holy land of India. One responsibility you have. You help others by becoming Krishna conscious. Prabhupada says, by becoming Bhakti yogis. Make them, you become a devotee of Krishna, you learn Bhakti, and you go back to Godhead because it's the easiest way. You know why Bhakti is easy? You can do your job, you can take care of your family, but at the same time, in a family environment, you can become pure. You can attain self-realization and go back to Godhead. But you should give it to others. But this we do because when we take birth, the number of breaths, only this many breaths. If you're already 40s, 50s, means 50% of life is over. Very little time is there. So utilize it to learn and give it to others. Very important is application. What is very important thing? Apply. Please. You know, Prabhupada begged when he was in India. Nobody came forward. Then he went to America, he preached to Americans. And Americans are preaching all over the world. So defending our dharma, Sanatana Dharma is very important. If one person follows strictly, Sanatana Dharma can breathe in. If you're a musician and if you learn Indians, you know, Carnatic Sastriks and the Sangeetam and all, and you know the Indian music will, you know, will be revived by you. So Indian music will start breathing through you. But then you will become a teacher and you start giving start giving music lessons. Likewise, if you become a Bhakti yogi, if you become Krishna conscious, you perfect your life and you give Krishna to others and you make others Bhakti yogis. You go back to Godhead and let others go back to Godhead. Bhakti will breathe through you. Bhagavatam. You know, so Krishna will be very proud of you. Bhakti Devi Radharani will be very proud of you. So Janma Sarda Kuri Karo. So you, aapka Janma Sarda first Kuri, then Karo. So you attain the perfection of life, then you help others attain the perfection of life. Time is running out. Not like Karuna, 1 crore people died, whoever died, they're all, you know, what is that, unfortunate, but I'm going to live eternally. No. You may be eternal as soul, but not in this body. You have a bank account, 50 years later, that will be there, but you won't be there. This is a bank account that will come with us. Right? So, now we are back. Krishna is talking about 3 modes. Who will read 46th verse?
All purposes
Okay,
served
Prabhuji, I
by
will
a
read
small
it.
well
Continue, bro, please.
All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them.
So, what is the goal of Vedas? Vedasya sarvam aham eva vedya vedanta kritveda videhachaham. Krishna says in Gita, Arjuna, goal of the Vedas is you know the person behind the Vedas. Who is the person behind the Vedas? Arjuna, I am the one. Vedasya sarvam aham eva vedyo. I am the compiler of the Vedas. I am to be known by Vedas. Vedanta Krit Veda Vidya Chaham. So you learn Vedas only to know, understand Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's it. Krishna mentions this very clearly in Gita. Vedanta Krit, Vedanta Vit. So if you understand, Krishna is Bhagavan, Supreme Lord, then Vedas are closed. That's it. That is, Vyasadeva is incarnation of Krishna. Vyasadeva, he wrote Vedas only to understand Krishna and Vishnu Tattva. They are the origin of everything, Supreme, Bhagavan. Then that's it, Vedas are closed. Then what you will do, you will go to Bhagavatam. Because Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Vedas, Upanishads. Once Bhagavad Gita is done, Bhagavatam. Bhakti Shastras. So Lord Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna Chaitanya, not different from Krishna. He has come to do the practical. Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, but it was scripted by Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. But the practical was done by Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna himself. Very interesting. Prabhupada says this. So what is that? Rather than spending so much time, actually to learn Sanskrit, it takes 12 years. After learning Sanskrit for 12 years, when if you start reading Rigveda, so people are very happy, practicing the meters, chandas. Yavam Veda yapamayatanam ayatanavam bhavati yapamayatanam. Okay, that's fine. But what does it mean? More than recital is we should know the meaning. More after understanding the meaning, very important is application. You learn very well how to drive the car, but you never tried. So you'll never drive. So what is important? Application is important. What is important? Application is important. Then we'll not do this verse today. The famous verse, every Indian knows, but they don't know the meaning. Majority of the Indians, everybody together. Karmanyavadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbu mate sangostva karmani. Can everyone repeat? Unmute. Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbu mate sangostva karmani. How many of you heard this verse? You can raise your hands.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So who will read the meaning? We'll discuss this. Read the translation, please.
You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of results of your activities and never be attached to not doing your duty.
Yes. This is in the movies, they play this song. Sorry, they play this verse, and many Indians know the first line, Karmanyevadikaraste, do your duty. What about the next line? So what is Karmanyevadikaraste? What is Karma Yoga? We are in second chapter. Actually, third chapter is Karma Yoga. So Krishna is telling you have a right to perform your duty, but not to the result. So you all, like in your childhood, you wrote engineering entrance, medical entrance, or you wrote so many exams. We have a right to, we have a right to write exam, but we don't have a right to decide the marks. Yes or no? We have a right to give the exam, but can you tell how many marks you'll get it? Huh? Pass or fail, can you tell? No. So the result is not in your hands. Krishna says the result is in my hands. When the result comes, Krishna is telling, don't claim the result. You are not the only one. Of course, your duty is to work hard and write the exam. But sanction has to come from me, Arjuna. Then you say, no, just because you're not getting the result, I'll sit idle, I will not work. That is wrong. Do your duty. Whether the result is coming or not. Things are happening nicely or not, you have to do your duty. Mate sangostva karmani. But do your duty, that is karma. But if you do the same duty for my pleasure, it is a karma yoga. If you do that duty to get pious activity, it is karma kanda. If you do your duty expecting a result, but you understood Krishna is Supreme Lord, it is sakama karma yoga. If you do your duty for the pleasure of Krishna, but you don't want, whatever result is okay with me, my Lord, but I am doing this only for your pleasure. Rakabi marabi jo ichchatohar. So, even if whether it is success or failure, I don't care. Because I care, I do this for your pleasure. Arjuna fought. Irrespective of the result, I don't care what result would come. We may be alive, may not be alive. We will fight. Same thing. So, one day one girl told me, I am not going to write the medical entrance. I said, why? My preparation is not, I did not prepare well. But you said you prepared very well last week. No, I'll not get the result. I'll fail and everyone will laugh at me. I said, look, let us see how much you will fail. So you write first time. Okay, next time we'll come to know. From there we'll start from scratch. Okay, you got with 40%. All right, no problem. So you're at 40%. So continue doing it. Probably you'll reach 90%. No, I'll not. I told her, you have a right to perform duty, but you don't have a right to decide the result. Anyway, she gave the exam. And she's a doctor now. So the point is, people should understand Bhagavad Gita in proper perspective. This is application. Because people do not know Bhagavad Gita, third line is very important. You are not the cause of your duties. Result comes, I did it. No. Sanction has come from Krishna, 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Without Krishna's sanction, not a blade of grass moves. Can we discuss this in the next week? It's already 10:30, For you, it's 9:30. We'll discuss Karmanyavadhikarastha next week. Any question or comment?
Yeah, Prabhuji. I have a question, Prabhu. Sorry.
Please.
So Bhagavad Gita will be in that which classification will it fall, Prabhuji? Bhagavad Gita.
The one I have shown.
Yeah, right, Prabhu.
Itihasas, Ramayana, Mahabharata, and they are itihasas. Itihasas, okay. Mahabharata, Bhishma Parva, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. But very interestingly, Bhagavad Gita is also called Upanishad. It comes in, it comes under Upanishads, Gita Upanishad. But it is also part of a Mahabharata. So, but Bhagavad Gita has that value, in that Gita is considered also as Upanishad. For that reason, it comes in Upanishad. But Bhagavad Gita actually comes in Itihasa, especially Mahabharata, Bhishma Parva. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question or comment?
Yeah, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in corporate culture, there is a saying like, we are not bothered about your efforts. We want only results. That the leadership team always says. But this is quite conflicting with this Bhagavad Gita.
Thank you, Prabhuji. No, it is not conflicting. I mean, one thing is there. Prabhuji, in the corporate world, for example, how many children you have?
No, I don't have kids.
No, okay, you're married?
Yeah, I am married.
Okay, you're married, great. So some people in the call, they have children. You really, I mean, you are watching your children studying or preparing for entrance, whatever. Probably results come in the entrance, they got the seat, engineering or medical. Means what? Means they prepared very well. The result did not come, they didn't get a good rank, means what? Their preparation was not adequate. So what you tell them, you prepare well next time. But in the corporate world, people are interested. So it's a same thing here also. You know what is that? You are getting the results means what? You have worked very hard. You use your intelligence to get the result. Prabhuji, outsider, they work very hard for money, whatever material things which are only temporary. If they're working that much, if they're working so hard to get some temporary things, how much should we work hard for the pleasure of Krishna? Into 10 times? Because our results are eternal. When Krishna, so our result is eternal. So why not you try the best? So Prabhupada slept only 2 hours. Actually, he did not sleep, not even 2 hours actually. Because he is doing it, everything, preaching, writing, translating Srimad Bhagavatam. He was doing it for the pleasure of Krishna. So, there is actually, though this verse says like that, Falena Parichayate. What is Falena Parichayate? You will see the endeavor by seeing the fruit, phala. If the fruit is good, it means your endeavor was adequate. Your endeavor was, there was a hard labor. The result is not there. But the only difference between corporate world and devotion, devotee life is, we don't care if there is, okay, we see, we try your best, Prabhu, try your best, Mataji, no problem. Result didn't come. In the corporate world, they'll take you out. But here we say, no problem, nothing is end of the world, try again. So you do, actually, we go for book distribution, it's very difficult. What do we tell them? Get 1,000 no's. If you approach 1,000 people and get 1,000 no's, to get 1,000 no's, no from 1,000 people. So you need to meet probably 1,200 people. So 1,200 people, 200 people will take books, and 1,000 people say, I don't want book. But if you meet only 10 people, 10 out of 10 will say, we don't want that book. We don't want Bhagavad Gita. Then you cannot even distribute one book. So phala is based on endeavor. Usually. You're understanding?
Yes, Prabhu.
Does it answer your question?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Any other question or comment? Otherwise, we'll end it. Anyway, we'll continue to discuss this verse next week. And if I've spoken anything wrong, do excuse me as your humble servant. But very grateful for your patient audience. Thank you very much.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna. Thank you. I'm ending now.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. I'm ending.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Pranam.